Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and today we're going to be looking at one of my favorite games of all time, Spider-Man Remastered. I changed my opinion so much that I think we do need to do a revamp of my favorite games of all time. But to start off, I've always wanted to play this game on the PS4.
If I had one!
Once I heard that this game was coming out on PC, I was ready to play this game. However, being poor doesn't exactly make it that you could actually buy the game right away. So I had to wait for a Steam sale. Luckily for me, I got this game half price on Steam, and I was never looking back with this series. I actually have all 3 games in the series currently. Well, let's see why this game tickles my fancy, so to speak. One of the craziest things about this game is that Spider-Man Remastered is the first Spider-Man game to release on PC since The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Both the 2018 game and the remake were developed by Insomniac Games, reaching out for help on the remake from Nexus Software, who has done some pretty credible games just looking at their list of games they've created. Another thing to note is that the rest of the series requires an SSD to run the games because it was set up to improve the performance of the game. And looking more into the history, I can actually see that they created all the Spider-Man games for PlayStation and PC after the 2018 release, with Insomniac being the developer. Which I would say, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The crazy thing is this game came out on the PS5 2 years before the PC version came out in 2020. I'm thinking the PC version may have had pandemic excuses. I'm looking at you, Nintendo. Thanks for the Mario anniversary, but not the Zelda one, you buttholes. There was some criticism with the PC port coming out with some performance issues. Heck, I even had my fair share of some performance issues throughout my playthrough of this game. But all in all, I do think for one of the first PC port attempts from Sony, this is really good. I really think it's quite enjoyable even with some of the performance issues. Our story begins with your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, good guy Peter Parker, sitting in his messy apartment. Upon looking at his watch, which is freaking sick by the way, the time now has come for him to take out Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin, as he springs into action. Put Fisk behind bars, which he succeeds in with the help of the NYPD. Following his capture, a new gang called the Demons begins to take out Fisk's assets, and in comes Mary Jane Watson, now a journalist for the Daily Bugle. Both her and Peter take action to research and find what they are planning. They're planning to send out a deadly man-made virus known as Devil's Breath, a lethal bioweapon produced by Oscorp. A family friend comes into the picture known as Martin Lee, who his bad guy persona is actually called Mr. Negative. Oh wow, I had to look this up on the internet as I had no idea this is his freaking bad guy persona. Thanks for never explaining that in the game at all. Come on, bro. During this time, Peter and Otto Octavius are researching advanced prosthetic limbs, during which Oscorp cuts funding.
You suck!
And during the game and throughout that, Octavius goes clinically insane. I mean, look at the brain pics here. He has worse dementia than my grandpa. Put this man in a home immediately. Octavius wants to take over the city because he thinks life is not fair, which I empathize with this notion. He creates the Arc Arms and proceeds to get all crazy powerful villains out of prison. Peter now has to fight these 6 villains known as the Sinister Six. Spider-Man takes them all out except Octavius. Peter defeats Doc Ock and gets the cure. Unfortunately, involved in the crossfire was Aunt May, who succumbs to the virus because Peter had to pick between her or the civilians. MJ and Peter share a kiss and the game ends, where towards the end we see that Harry is in a medical thingy. What the hell this thing is called, I don't know. Well, it's confirmed that something was happening in one of the MJ missions, but still, Norman sucks. Also, Miles Morales reveals to have powers as well, but who knew? Well, I knew. Well, the plot is really great, and to be honest, although it's a Sinister Six plot, is a very unique one. I feel as though the story is really great, and the plot has such great moments, which really keeps going, and to be honest, there's not even a boring moment in this game. Like, even the dumb parts of helping out Miles Morales' dad, I mean, it's boring, but it's exciting at the same time, and the side stories are great too. But a lot of these are kind of just a breather for the plot, which really makes it good to me, because honestly, it keeps the game going without giving you a heart attack-like pace. Furthermore, I think the structure of the story is really well done as well, giving off great moments of triumph and great moments of loss. And really, due to the cutscenes looking like a freaking movie, I mean, these cutscenes are so sick, bro. Oh my gosh. You really get a feel of the emotion. The annoyance of MJ, when another person loves her more than anything is just trying to help. I'll come back to this later. To the emotional end of Aunt May, and just shows how far we've come in gaming with this plot and how this game really looks like a movie. I love the characters in this game also. They are really the best iterations of Spider-Man characters. Peter is my favorite version of Spider-Man / Peter Parker. He really is a great mix of Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. The quirky jokes and the nerdiness really shines through in this character. I love this Peter Parker. Protect him at all costs. This Aunt May iteration really is the perfect Aunt May. I'm not sure why she had to die for literally no reason, but yeah, I have a special place in my heart for her. Miles Morales, ooh boy. I love this guy, I really do. He's kind, but he's also kind of a dummy. Man, the dude just gets stuck in stupid situations that aren't necessary for this to happen. Like, bro, you don't need to check on your dad, he's dead. And no, why are you running around with Rhino? He could very easily kill you. However, he does become another Spider-Man, and he has a good heart, but just my guy. Until you become Spider-Man, please let the professionals handle this crap. MJ is a really good character as well. She and Peter are probably the two best iterations of MJ and Peter I've ever seen. She's brave as hell and has an undeniable charm about her. However, one thing just didn't sit well with me. I do not understand why she gets mad at Peter for protecting her. Like, MJ, come on, man. The guy lost his uncle. He literally was helpless in protecting Miles' dad, and he lost you. And at the end of the game, he loses the man he worships because he's evil. He also lost you because you broke up with him over the same thing. I don't think this one incident really takes away from her awesomeness, but I also felt like this was something that was unnecessary to the plot. Like I said in the Small Saga review, it had unnecessary stuff, but with it didn't mess with the plot. But this crap does, and it bothers me because of that. And also because up to that point, he and MJ had a great thing going, and then he saves your life from big body armored people with guns, and you get pissy about it, which is so stupid to me. I will say the redeeming thing with the plot is she gets this address and even says she acted really stupid in that situation. So yeah, MJ is really goated. I like her a ton. I just didn't like that section. That was the only thing that bothered me. Now the villains are all great, and even to the point where like Martin Lee is legitimately terrifying in certain instances, and the other villains are perfect. I love that most Spider-Man villains have a legit reason to murder hundreds of people like Doc Ock does. Through the injustices of the world, he wants to end the world. And like, I get that for real. I feel that hardcore. Is it the right thing to do? Nah, bro, not at all. The worst villain, even though I loved him in Spider-Man 2 PS1, is Electro. Like, who made this guy? Why does he suck so bad? And most of all, who invited him to the party? What, Mysterio just had the day off or something? Like, come on, man, this dude is horrible. Luckily, he's not on screen a ton, but come on, this is stupid. Make it better. Although I will say he looks great in his model anyway. Like, everything looks great in this game. This is seriously one of the best looking games I've ever played. And furthermore, with that, I really do go to the notion that we might be able to push technology even further along. It looks like these are a ton of real-time cutscenes, and they just look like eye candy to me. Like this scene. Am I playing a video game or watching a movie? Because really, this looks just as great as a movie. And the city legit looks like New York City. Like, I'm sorry, I usually used to hate talking about graphics, but I just can't anymore. Like, I'm starting to become a snob with graphics. Like, sure, Fortnite is cartoony, but the graphics are great. Mario 64 is cartoony as well. Are the graphics good? Nope, the graphics have not aged well at all. I still could play these games, mind you, and that is what I think makes the N64 so great, but legit, some of these games become unplayable just because of the janky graphics and really some of the bad shading in some of these games. But this game is smooth, it looks great, it feels great, and it's just great. Like again, in 20 to 30 years, it is crazy how far we've come along. Like even stinkers like Cyberpunk are legitimately decent because of the jump in technology. Spider-Man's graphics are goated, and just in 2 to 4 years, depending on which platform you play, looks so good, but even the PlayStation 4 version looked good. But now, this looks incredible, and it just looks great, even in 1080p. Good lord, I love this game, man. It gets my horsey going big time, I can't lie. The gameplay is ridiculous, as you feel like Spider-Man. Web swinging, albeit can be monotonous sometimes, and a bit tedious, is so freeing. I love freaking jumping off tall buildings, running up, not climbing up buildings, and fighting. Yes, the combat in this game is so good. This is where the game shines. I do feel like it takes some cues from something like Arkham Asylum, and I really gotta be honest, I love Arkham Asylum, but this game does it better. Fighting villains who are robbing stores and infiltrating these bases, albeit could suck a freaking dick sometimes, truly are fun and make makes me want to hit harder even if I end up failing these challenges. There is stealth gameplay, but I'm not going to lie, the stealth sections don't take away or give more to this sort of style of game. To be honest, however, it really does add to the game's story, and it changes the game's pacing, which gives you a break from the pulse-pounding action, but I like the pulse-pounding action, but I digress. Musically, I mean, I love classical music. I just don't love movie classical music, if that makes sense. Unless we're going with rock music and movies or TV, I really don't bother with the music. However, sound-wise, this game is great. I love the voice acting, as it seems like they had a budget to get legit actors that really puts the game together. Even J. Jonah Jameson is great. I love the little podcast snippets throughout the game. There's one thing I forgot to address because I'm dumb. What happened to everyone's hair, especially MJ's? Was it stormy all game? Like, this looks stupid frizzled out for some reason. I think that's a word. I'm not 100% sure on that. You definitely need to try Spider-Man Remastered, though, for reals. It's like my second favorite game of all time. You need to absolutely give this game a shot if you can. Oh, jeez, that was a lot. I hope that you all enjoyed this review as much as I did in making it. I really didn't have too much to say as far as negative things for Spider-Man Remastered. And to be honest, it's really one little thing that's not like a huge deal in the grand scheme of things. I'm a live and let live guy, you know, what can I say? But I would recommend this game to anybody who wants to play it. Anyway, thanks for everyone who watched the video, and I'll see you next time.